Hi, I'm Julie Hanks, here to talk about another reason why you should stop spanking and using any kind of physical punishment with your kids. There's so much research that talks about the downside of spanking. Let me just give you a few. Increased aggression and antisocial behavior, poor peer relationships, damage to the parent-child relationship, higher risk of intimate partner violence later on, higher risk for becoming a child abuser, higher risk for developing mental health disorders. That's the one that caught my attention. There's some new research from Dr. Tracie Afifi, I hope I said that right, from the University of Manitoba in Canada. And in this research, she found that controlling for other factors, children who were physically, or adults who were physically punished as children had higher rates of mental illness. And that is huge. When I read that, I thought, okay, here's another reason why we need to stop spanking. But what do you do instead, right? Parents get desperate, your kid's not listening. So I have a few tips of what to do instead of spanking. The first one is focus on the relationship. It's really important to focus on the emotional bond with your child. So when your child is acting up, ask yourself, what is the emotional message here? What's my child trying to tell me about our relationship or about what's going on inside of him or her? So what I've learned as a mother of 4 children, and I've been a mom for almost 22 years, a lot of times they're trying to say they're upset about something else, or maybe they're tired, or maybe they miss you. So look for that emotional message that they're trying to tell you about the relationship. A second tip, instead of spanking, use prevention. We've all seen those out of control kids at the mall or the grocery store. And I've been that parent at some point where it's like, stop it. Kids throwing a tantrum, but it's usually because the parent has pushed the child too far. They've been out too long, they missed their nap, they're hungry, they're bored. So prevent whenever possible. If there are situations where you know your child acts up, prevent it. Leave earlier. Hire a babysitter and don't take them to the mall. Whatever you need to do to prevent you from getting to that point where you feel like spanking is your only option. Another thing to do, a parenting strategy that might help, is to really focus on the positive things that your child does. It's easy to focus on what they're doing wrong because that's when you notice it. But make sure you notice the positive characteristics and positive things that your child does. So you can draw on that those positive feelings when you're feeling really frustrated with them. Another tip is to use logical consequences. So instead of spanking, if they hit their brother or sister, they don't get to play. They go to timeout. If they don't want to wear a coat, instead of yelling at them, you have to wear a coat today, let them go without a coat for a day. And then they'll realize, oh, when it's cold, I probably should bring a coat to school. So natural and logical consequences. Another tip is take a time out yourself. If you feel like you're going to lose it and you're going to resort to physical punishment, remove yourself from the situation. Also, removing privileges, that depends on the child and what motivates them. But taking away a privilege, hey, look, if you don't get your chores done, you're not going to be able to watch TV. So it's up to you. And then you don't have to stay on them. You just remove that privilege and they have that consequence. And then finally, something that I think is really underused is add a chore. If your child's misbehaving, have them do something that actually contributes to your life, contributes to the family life. If they're fighting with a sibling, you say, okay, you need to go up and make their bed or clean their room, or your behavior has been upsetting to me. I need you to do something to support me, so go unload the dishwasher, something like that. So have them do something positive, but don't spank. It's bad for mental health. We don't want that. We have other options now, and physical punishment doesn't need to be one of them. I'm Julie Hanks. You can find out more about me and more relationship and mental health tips at juliehanks.com.